Alright, so let's say hypothetically, you right now were sent all the way back to 1968. This shit just looks terrible. Vietnam was in full fucking force. Motherfuckers was duking it out in the street.
Need I say more? I don't even need to say shit.
So what are you going to do under these circumstances? I'll tell you exactly what you can do. You can watch 4 teenage kids, a talking dog, all ride around in a clapped out van and go solve fucking mysteries, because 1968 is the exact year that Hanna-Barbera released Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Can you tell I had absolutely no fucking idea how to start this video?
When I say something needs no introduction, I don't think it could fit anything better than for Scooby-Doo. Everyone knows this shit, whether it's one of the more original ones, one of the more modern ones, you know who this guy is. And obviously, when this show first came out, it was a massive hit, spawning countless imitators. It was so popular to the point where it was getting copycats from its own parent company, Hanna-Barbera. Fuck out of here, Captain Caveman. But as the years went on, the formula started to dry up, and Hanna-Barbera did try to make it fresh, but everything they did was just ass cheap. Yeah, I'm sorry, if your popular IP is starting to go down and your first thought is a collab with the Three Stooges, that's pretty much just on you. And after that, Scooby-Doo was just kind of low-key. It didn't really change all that much. A new series would pop up every now and then, but it never hit like it did beforehand. But all of that would change when in 2002, Cartoon Network started airing a new Scooby-Doo cartoon named What's New Scooby-Doo. It had new in the fucking title. Obviously, shit had to be different. And honestly, you might be listening to me right now thinking I'm fucking crazy. Like, they did not change the recipe up that much. They did. I urge you after this video to go back, watch one of the classic episodes, and then watch like any episode of What's New Scooby-Doo. Night and fucking day, dude. And if that still isn't enough to convince you, then I beg of you to sit down, watch this video, and tell me that same shit by the end of it, because you won't be able to. And don't get me wrong, the originals had some more far-fetched episodes. I think first to come to mind would probably be What a Shocking Ghost from Where Are You? But what makes What's New Scooby-Doo so different is the fact that this shit happens like every episode. You don't get a break. But alright, I've got a list of a few episodes here that I want to get into so I can really show off what I mean. With the first episode on this list being Season 2, Episode 2, Mummy Scares Best. So the episode begins with a group of randoms that are clearly there just to set up the mystery for this one, but immediately where I get my problem from is,
How the fuck did he do this?
how the fuck did he absorb them into the walls? It has driven me fucking insane since I was 11 years old. I remember I watched this episode with my dad once as a kid, and I remember saying, how could they fake that? In reference to like, how are they reasonably going to explain this at the end of the episode? And this fucking goofball has bullied me for it ever since.
It's a cartoon, dumbass. That's how they faked it.
Like, bro, I know it's a cartoon. I know they didn't actually do this shit, but I meant like, oh my fuck, it has pissed me off ever since. But the actual episode itself focuses on the gang going to Egypt after being invited on an archaeological excavation by Eaton Melbourne, who is just kind of one of those characters that they have Fred say some shit like,
"Oh yeah, our old buddy Lee Harvey Oswald. Boy, is he good with a rifle."
and then he's just kind of there for the rest of the episode, never to be mentioned afterwards or beforehand. This show fucking loves those kind of characters, by the way. There's like one every episode. And when they first get there, everything's going fine. Smooth sailing as always. But as soon as it hits nighttime, they start asking Eaton about the mummy's curse. And fucking immediately, bro is just there. He's like, he heard his name and he was like,
yo, what's up? I'm right here.
and look at this shit, dude. He just broke a fucking pillar and then spawned a sandstorm out of nowhere. Shit then evolved into a tornado and they roll it off as a mirage. Mirage my fucking dick, bro. He has superpowers. Not to mention, the guys from before, yeah, they're still here. They're just brainwashed as zombies now. He fucking brainwashed them. This dude is a Batman level threat. Call him up. The group end up running into the fucking Prince of Egypt, who even himself is forced to beg because of a drought, supposedly caused by that fucking mummy. How did he do it? How did he do it? All the other Scooby-Doo villains, the fucking spooky space kook, the creeper, they were playing checkers. This motherfucker's playing chess. Now keep in mind, we do have multiple other episodes that I'm wanting to talk about, so we're gonna try and hurry through the few of these, but near the end of the episode, the mummy ends up mind-washing Fred, Velma, and Daphne too. I find it funny because they deadass just James Woods, Shaggy, and Scooby. They actually escape that one, but then start getting sucked into the walls. I still don't know how it fucking works, but then Fred, Daphne, and Velma just lock the fuck in and stop being possessed. They escape the temple, but oh no, the mummy's right there. After all the crazy shit he's done all episode, what is he? What? Are you fucking kidding? What a surprise. It's the dude that's literally never shown up before in any Scooby-Doo media ever. But Fred's reaction is genuine devastation. Shit makes me feel like bro's just been a part of the gang since episode 1. And I guess that wraps it up, but oh, What is that? Who is that? Why are they still going? I thought it was just the dude. Oh, no, he's doing a hero shit now. Let's go. And it turns out it was actually the prince, who is a hypnotist, which explains why he was able to hypnotize people. They explain this real in-depth pipe system that he has, which is how he was able to cause the drought, which, you know what? I appreciate that. But guess what they didn't fucking explain? All right, next episode, Reef Grief, episode 13 of season 3. Now, this one starts out chill as hell. Just a basic beach episode. I mean, what all could happen? This thing is fucking gigantic, and it is sucking people under the sand with what I can only imagine to be its presence alone. Oh yeah, and this bitch at the very end, yeah, we don't find out what happened to her, so I'm just gonna assume she got the snipper. But the gang is at some beach for a sandcastle competition because apparently Shaggy and Scooby can build like it's fucking Fortnite. Look at some of the craftsmanship these bitches are putting into these sandcastles. That's more than like a paid blue-collar man. They run into this dude that's bipolar as shit. I'm diagnosing him right now because he goes from glazing to immediately shit-talking. But while they're getting lectured by this dude about how badly he's gonna whoop their ass in the competition, their sandcastle falls apart. And so does everybody else's on the beach, which gives me an idea. What if you just brought like a boombox to one of these competitions? That's a cheat. But it turns out the disturbance came from the band that's playing on the other side of the beach, and these guys look a little familiar.
Jeepers, it's Smash Mouth.
It's fucking Smash Mouth? You're telling me I'm gonna have to listen to Smash Mouth this episode? And while I'm on the concept of music, that is something I want to talk about. I miss when Scooby-Doo had good music. And don't get me wrong, the originals have some fucking classic scores to them, and so do some of the new modern ones. But what I mean here is when Scooby-Doo had rock and roll, and I'm guessing it's just an attempt to fit in and seem cool with the new generation, this Scooby-Doo has a lot of it in it. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe you haven't seen the show in a while and you don't really agree with me on that. Well, go ahead and listen to this. Scooby-Doo doesn't have good music, my dick, bro. Alright, well that's a little cheating because I took it from the greatest piece of Scooby-Doo media fucking ever, Zombie Island, but they came out around the same times, right? But back to the episode. The Scooby Gang actually ends up seeing the monster during a yoga session, but he ends up running away before he can really do much. And with that, it's back to the competition, like we haven't lost 7 members already. I think it'd be safe to just call it here, guys. But while Shuggy, I deadass just said Shoogie. Scooby and Shaggy end up getting their sandcastle pretty messed up by the monster. Fucking pussy ass monster. He just ran away. What's he got, asthma or some shit? And when they run off to go look for clues, look at what the fuck finds them first. What is up with these Scooby-Doo villains and keeping slaves? That shit was abolished with the Civil War, bro. And he ends up getting Shaggy and Scooby too. God damn it. Can my boys ever get a break?
I guess Shaggy owed Fred a fucking 20 because he was not letting that happen. That's right. Swim your sorry ass away, boy.
This shit gave me boners as a kid,
It's my fucking channel. It's my video. I say what I want, motherfucker.
But moving on a bit later in the episode, we get into another chase scene set by Smash Mouth. Yay, I love Smash. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're a Smash Mouth fan, this shit literally sounds like it's just not for me, bro. And I know, I already made a Fortnite reference this video, but they literally just cranked a 90 on his bitch ass. Tell me they did not. Fred, bro, do something. You were on demon time like a fucking hour ago, bro. Now, once again, as much as I hate to do this, we're gonna have to skip again for time because we've still got a whole other episode to cover. But skipping to the end of the episode, the big reveal for this one is that it was the hippie dude that was behind all of this. And my first question immediately was, how did he make the big monster? How are they gonna explain that? He didn't. It's just a genuine fucking monster. It had a life before all this, and it will surely have a life after all this because they ended on a sweet note with him. Personally, I don't trust him because he's genuinely a fucking monster. They just couldn't figure out how to explain it. They just deadass could not figure out how to pass this one off as logistical, so they just said, fuck it, it's a monster. Alright, next episode, Gold Paw, season 3, episode 11. Alright, so this episode immediately starts out with some bullshit. And not because we watch the main villain turn 2 grown men into statues like it's light work, but because they show this shit in the background for Kentucky. And as a proud Kentuckian, I can say it fucking sucks down here. There's nothing this cool. The gang ends up getting to Fort Knox, which after 16 years of living here, I'm just now finding out is in Kentucky. But so after a thorough search of not only the van, but the group themselves, they're allowed to go through where they can meet with the general, who is deadass just Major Chip Hazard from Small Soldiers. They didn't even try to change Rose design. And then he's just accompanied by this dude. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he needs to stop looking at me like that. And with that, they're on to the base. And for context, the reason they're here is for these dogs that appeared in an earlier episode. But Shaggy and Scooby end up leaving the group to go see if they can find a restroom when they accidentally stumble into the vault that holds all the gold. It kind of makes sense if you watch the episode. But what I find so funny about this is they're literally not doing anything, and this dude just comes out to beat their ass.
They were not close to finding him. They didn't even know he was there. What a bully.
They end up getting saved by some silly hijinks, and I just know this dude was thinking,
Saved by the fucking bed.
and after that, it's straight to the bunks. These motherfuckers trying to get some night-night. That is before the golden man tries to strike again, and oh, it's just a tweaker, never mind. It's just this random guy named Larry Knox, who obviously, because of his last name, thinks that Fort Knox is his. But that actually reminds me of this silly little guy called the Noid that Domino's Pizza used to use during the 80s. You know, his whole thing was kind of like, oh, he fucks up pizzas, but Domino's is too strong for him. He can't do it. So some dude named Kenneth Noid thought that the ads were a direct attack against him.
I don't know what this dude thought they were trying to fucking say about
But
it.
he went into a Domino's Pizza and literally held that bitch up at gunpoint. He got 2 large pizzas, and I believe he didn't hurt anybody.
You're not a good man, Arthur, but you're not all bad.
It has nothing to do with the video. It's just something that I thought of when I saw the episode. They get woken up in the middle of the night and realize that the Secret Six, aka the little puppies, are gone now. And during their search, they obviously run into the gold monster, and a chase ensues. Get these motherfuckers on the field right now. No prior training, and they're already smoking the test like it's fucking nuts.
When I'm at the function and they start shit talking Scrappy, dude.
They end up introducing this goo, which is literally so obviously what the bad guy is using. Still does not explain this shit, though, like how he's going through literal gold bars like water.
And while the group's going and doing all this heavy investigation, Scooby and Shaggy just decide to get fucking turned. Soda my ass. Even the employees drunk. Look at their face. Why did they write him to be so goddamn mad, bro? He punches that shit so hard the cave underneath collapses in on itself, bro. They get separated, but end up finding their way back pretty easily. And now they start setting up a plan to catch his ass. You could probably get some butt from Shaggy if you gave him a Scooby snack, now that I think. Alright, this motherfucker's gotta be one of the soldiers. Look at how on this shit he is. He has some form of training. I don't know what. Is that a fucking jetpack? He just has a jetpack. They end up duping his ass with a fake all-access pass. And the big reveal for this episode, who's it gonna be? I don't know, but we'll see here in a few seconds. Who the fuck is that? My brain must have blanked out every time this dude was on screen because I'm genuinely confused on who he is. He just looks like every other soldier. And the explanation for how he did all this shit?
So he could blend into the gold. Because with security this tight, the best place to hide is in plain sight.
Now, if you don't get what Velma just said there, basically she's trying to say that he would just stand in front of the fucking things while he was in the suit and he'd just blend right in.
Okay, so what is the fucking portal thing around him when he first shows up? That's clearly something. You guys deadass could have just, instead of introducing this stupid ass goo, you could have introduced some technological advancement that allows people to morph into shit and then just explains the big one. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, obviously as soon as they introduce that, it's gonna be clear what it is. As soon as they introduced the fucking goo, it was clear what it was. I don't know, man. Overall, I just want to get something out of the way and say that I do not dislike this show at all. I'm just being funny with all these critiques. And with that, we come to an end of our list of episodes. I hope that I was able to prove something to you guys and I didn't just waste 13 minutes trying to explain this shit. And I want to give a quick thanks to all the people giving me support in the comments saying to keep uploading. I really appreciate that shit. The lower views did kind of take my spirit out of it for a minute, but then I forgot who I was. I do this shit for the love of the game. Don't worry about it slowing down anytime soon. But with all that said, guys, that is going to bring us to the end of this video. Comment down below what you thought about it, or if you want to see anything more like this. I'd love to upload more about Scooby-Doo because it was without a doubt the most prominent franchise over my childhood. So I'd love to talk about all the different things that I noticed and thought about it growing up. But with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!